I call it the zone. What do you call it?
The vortex?
She calls it the vortex.
I call it the vortex.
Vortex. Anyone else have a name for a place of pure positive energy, of internal happiness and joy, bubbling up from inside you without any outside stimuli?
How about neutral zone?
It's not neutral. It is definitely not neutral. Now, do I have it with me? Okay, what is the zone? There is not a handout for this, so I'll read it to you. The zone is an emotional state of beingness, a place of pure positive energy. These are all caps. P, P, E are all capitalized. Pure positive energy. And a mental playground of joy without resistance to all things you want to experience. The zone is a reality. It's an emotional state of worthiness, of stability, of confidence, of elation, of happiness, of bliss, of joy, of wholeness, of completeness, of certainty, of passion. And when this emotional state of joy, happiness, bliss, etc. becomes a habit of thought, that's when the manifestations that start sweeping into your experience. That's when your real life experiences replicate your emotional experience. The zone is not a place of having. It's not a place of stuff. It's not relationships with others. It's you, capital Y-O-U. And when you are in alignment with who and what you really are, there is no absence of things. The reason you want that relationship, so you'll feel joy, bliss, or happiness, like when you're in the zone. And when that being in the zone becomes your habit of thought where you feel joy, bliss, happiness, confidence, the relationship becomes a non-issue.
Where did you get that information?
2 places. For me, for my meditations, my personal experiences, from Eckhart Tolle, Swami Veda, Abraham Hicks, Swami Rama, Paramahansa Yogananda, and direct experience. That's where I get that statement from. Now, this is written closely, the best way I knew how to say it, without saying you're in a state of God consciousness.
Or self-realization?
Or self-realization. This is, to me, this is a much better way of saying it, because in the beginning, we used the word God. What did I say the definition was? Anyone remember?
Energy. Source energy. The source energy?
Source energy. Because if I asked each of you what God meant, I'm sure I'll get 15 different answers. So, 1, this is the zone. And where is it?
Inside you.
Inside you. I think you've experienced it with me. You've experienced it. Denise has experienced it through the yoga classes. We do not just do a yoga posture. We talk about all this stuff little by little. And on Tuesday night at 7:30, this is all we talk about. No postures. We do this work. Okay. The zone is in the moment, your response to life. It's a merging of you and you. Little you and big you. And when that is your emotional state and habit of thought, of the way I feel good. The material world and all the treasures that vibrate with that vibrational accomplishment must, by nature, come to you. So we've been talking about the journey all through today. You're on the journey. It's not the destination. If my destination is I'm a self-realized sage, it's the journey getting there that's important, not being the sage. That'll happen naturally if I pay attention. Oh, how do I get there? Oh my God, here's one, I got tools, meditation, appreciation, a word for the day, dominant intention, moving up the emotional scale. Those are all tools that will move you into alignment with yourself.
So
Now,
you're saying that the expansion is happening whether you try it or not? Or there was something about expansion in this map, that it's happening anyway.
Yes, expansion is your basic nature. You cannot stop it. You
Yeah.
cannot stop growing. However, you can get on the fast track. And you can do something about your growth and take charge of it. And that's what we're doing today. You're taking charge. You've taken a proactive role for your personal growth. That's all you've done. You've stepped into the leading edge of thought. Something in you said, call this number, respond to that thing in the paper, and I'm coming here to see what's going on today. That's your inner wisdom talking. I didn't do anything. I just was feeling good when I wrote it. And you felt the good when you read it. And that brought you here. But it's your own inner wisdom that brought you here.
Okay. How often do you think you get to this point? I read that and I think, I don't know, I've never felt, I don't know that I've ever felt that before, some pure
Okay.
positive energy.
Okay. How often do I get? That's a good question. Not often enough. I'm going to read something to you. 1974, March 3rd. I reminisce thinking I'm 3 months without a drink or a drug as I crossed the street of 3rd Avenue and East 77th Street in New York City. Now remember, I was just got out of being an espionage, I just got divorced, I just got sued, I got fired, all kinds of, and you know, I'm a jet setter. And I'm walking across the street. There was a bounce in my step as I pondered what my next move would be now that I had quit drinking when a brilliant, scintillating white light the size of a basketball entered my stomach from the outside, revolving, twirling, swirling, dazzling me with its brilliance. Then another light illumined inside my head, a beautiful, sparkling white light the size of a softball. Yet another beam of light streamed up my spine from the light in my stomach to the light in my head, and exploded within my entire body, which is now bathed in this blinding white light. I felt as though I had entered a zone. That's what I was experiencing right there. Reserved, a place reserved only for the gods. There I was, crossing the street feeling dumbfounded, washed by light and pounded by rolling thunder bursting throughout my body. The joy was indescribable. It was like having an orgasm, but intensified 10 million times. So all of you, I'm going to venture to guess, have been in the zone. When I was a kid, I already knew you could go here through sex. As a kid, someone would say, well, what's God like? And I would say, well, have sex, have an orgasm. That's the closest you'll get to God without consciously trying to get there. So you want, yes?
May I offer a comment?
Yeah.
I've never experienced what Richard just described. For me, and many of us, it's just being able to, you're sitting somewhere and you just feel happy, and it's not because someone's doing something for you, or not because you're eating something and you're going somewhere, you're just feeling good
That's
for
it.
no reason other than you just are.
Yeah, that's
Is
it.
it pure contentment? Can you describe it as that?
It's
Just,
more
just
than-
feeling calm and happy and feeling like, gosh, if I could feel this way all the time, my whole life, I'd be, wouldn't it be nice?
Now, what she's talking about, I may feel like that 3 days straight, and then the next 3 days, I'm up and down like a yo-yo. This happens periodically from time to time when I'm in meditation, or like when I was sitting at Village Bakery. The important thing is not to have these experiences. The important thing is the journey to get there. The destination doesn't matter. It's the journey that matters.
So then you're okay with this?
Oh yeah, of course. That's
I
what
guess
my.
you have to be okay with
And
it.
why am I okay with
And
it?
understand that that's going to happen.
Now, why am I okay with that? It's where my growth takes place. Now, what I just read shifted my energy from a jet setter, womanizer, drug addict, alcoholic, bum. Oh my God, there's another world. Oh. And I was off to the races. It was like home. I said, I know that's home. I knew this was home for me. And then is when I made my decision to become a sage. And then as I did that over the years, it became, oh, wait a minute, there's more to that than that. There's helping other people. Oh yeah, got it. So little by little, it's, what's that, 74 to now, 40 years later, here we are, sitting here. Yes,
Would that be another thing like multiplying yourself through others?
no,
No?
not for me. No. My only goal is to share my knowledge, what I know, to the extent that I understand this. It's up to each individual to experience whatever level they're at, to be motivated to go in this direction. That's why I said, if you get one thing today, own this, all I care about. That's the most important thing, whether it's this or something else. So how do we get here? We've been talking about it all day. But there's another way that we're going to show you in a minute. So, why get there? It feels, Linda explained it well. It feels good there, it's playful. It's where everything you want is located. It's how you allow things in that you want. This one I'm still working on. I don't understand totally yet. Because a state of allowing is a state of the path of least resistance, is a state of feeling good about yourself. Of appreciation, love, being in the state that she was just talking about. How do you get there? Different ways. Now Linda just explained the way, just sitting there. It just happened naturally. And I guarantee you, it has happened to every one of you. It has. This is no. Now, meditation is one of the most powerful ways. Dance is another way. Exercise is another. Sing, play a sport. Think thoughts that make you feel good. And here's a technique here called Yoga Nidra. It's the cosmic sleep. Now you've experienced it, and you've experienced it in you. So what, can you share a little bit about your experience with that? How it felt?
Well, it feels, for me, I don't remember when I come out of it, when I'm in it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good way to say it. Linda?
Well, yoga nidra's relaxing to me. I don't get into the zone through that. I more easily would get into it through dancing or singing or humor, you know, a good laugh.
Okay,
All of a sudden, I feel really good.
okay. Denise?
Well, the yoga nidra for me is just, it's just kind of a profound stillness, is how I,
Very good.
you know,
Okay, so
speak of it for myself.
I want to just talk about this one and this one. This, and that are outside you. You have to go do something. This is the thought. Meditation is truly a thought process. You're inside you doing it. Now, the meditation is a state of consciousness of knowing who and what you really are, and the meditation technique is a tool designed to move you in the direction of discovery of who and what you really are. So this is a natural state of being. That's your natural state right there. Being who you really are. For example, you think my name is Richard Parenti, right? I can prove to you without a doubt I am not Richard Parenti. I have a birth certificate in New York City that says, ink on paper, Richard Parenti. But that little baby was just a glob. So we know now Richard Parenti is ink on paper. A thought given to me by my mother and father. That is not a state of consciousness of knowing who and what you really are. Who and what you really are is that state that I describe, I think different places, I say things in my book, but it's a state of knowing internally of that pure positive energy that you experience within yourself. That's who you really are. Okay. Now, there are different kinds of people here with different spiritual and religious beliefs. There are Christian meditation techniques, Muslim meditation techniques, Jewish meditation techniques, mystical meditation techniques, atheist meditation techniques. What else is there? Sufi meditation techniques. Lots of techniques here to get to here.
Why so many?
Huh?
Why? Because of the person's unable to connect
Well,
without,
because you're born in the Middle East, or you're born in Israel, or you're born into that family,
right,
or, so that's where all the techniques are developed by that organization or movement. The mystical technique is a mantra written in Sanskrit. Sanskrit, the oldest language in the world, that has the capacity to change the molecular structure of your brain and change your personality to move in this direction. All other meditation techniques I know about and have taught some, but I do know more about two. For atheists that I teach that don't believe in God, and the mystical mantra meditation technique. And both of them take you inside. And when you use the Christian technique that I've been taught in the yoga tradition I'm in, it also takes you inside and has power. I just know the result from the breathing and the mantra because I don't use the other one. But other people that use the other one go inside. So, we have a choice. I can teach you matter of fact, I'll teach all techniques at one time. And you will choose, as I'm teaching, which one you want to use that feels right for you. Which one do you use? May I ask? Is that okay?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Or mystical, good.
Mystical. And Denise also. So 3 people that have been with me for a long, and I think I taught you too, a long time ago. Use a mystical mantra meditation technique. So, I'm going to explain it all, and then we'll do it. And then you'll choose, after I explain it, the direction you want to move with you. Now, some of the stuff for all of them are the same. You're going to be focusing your awareness at the eyebrow center. Feeling the forehead relax. You're just going to relax it, and you're going to breathe normally and naturally through the nose. And you're going to notice initially the temperature change. Cool air in, cooler coming in, warmer going out. You're going to notice that one simple change, shift in your energy, in your breath. All the meditation techniques are built on that breath, on a natural breathing process. There is no control of the breath when you do this technique. All the techniques will have a tendency, when you relax into them, to suspend your breath momentarily. That can happen. It's natural. Your breath will start on its own. There is no worry. You're not going to stop breathing. You're already breathing normally and naturally. And all you're doing is putting a word on it, on the breath. You're going to choose the same place every day to sit. You're going to choose the same time every day to sit in the same place. You're going to turn your cell phone off. You're going to turn your TV off. And you're going to shut the door and tell your kids don't disturb you. Or your husband, or someone, whoever wants to interrupt you. So you have the same time, same place, no outside disturbances. What else? Anything else? Nice. Wear comfortable, loose clothing, so you feel nice and comfortable when you sit. There are numbers of ways to sit. You can sit just like Linda's sitting in a chair right now, or like Janet. The most important thing about sitting is it's comfortable and you will not fall asleep. Ideally, you would sit away from the back of the chair up straight. So you have a nice straight spine for the energy, because the secret in yoga for these higher states of consciousness is the cerebral spinal system. That's where all the energy flows. And that's what you're trying, that's what we're awakening in a healthy, easy way. Now, when you're breathing, most importantly, again, there is no control of the breath. If you are interested in a mystical mantra meditation technique, on the inhaling breath, you would mentally and silently only say Hong, H-O-N-G. And on the exhaling breath, you would say Saw, like S-A-W. Hong on the inhaling breath, Saw on the exhaling breath. Now, what does Hong Saw mean? It's the Sanskrit word and sound of your breath that you're already breathing. Because all you're doing is using a language that has the capacity to do something positive inside you to make the change. Hong Saw. And so it's the sound of the breath is number one. And two, it means I am that. And what is that? Pure positive energy. So it's all you are doing is literally reminding yourself, I am that. Now, what could be better than pure positive energy? That's one technique. Now, again, breathing normally and naturally. If you're Christian, Muslim, or Jewish, pick the name of God, which is your favorite according to your religion, or sacred phrase, breathing. So if you're Christian, what would be the key name you would use for God? Most people, Jesus Christ, right?
That was Yahweh.
Yahweh is Jewish.
Yeah, oh,
That would be a Jewish meditation technique. That's where that would fall. And if you're an atheist and you don't believe any of that nonsense,
Christ was the Jew.
huh?
Christ was the Jew.
Yeah. I don't know, I just know, I was sitting with someone yesterday and I asked them about the Bible, and they told me that Yahweh was the name that the Jewish tradition used. I don't know if that's true. Anybody know?
They wouldn't speak his name, but yeah, that was the Jewish God's name, but they
Okay.
wouldn't speak it, so.
So you have a mantra, Hong Sa, or now we have a name, a Christian name, could be Hail Mary, Jesus Christ, or God. Now, so if it's God, you breathe in mentally, God, and you breathe out mentally and silently, God. If it's Jesus Christ, it's Jesus on the inhaling breath, Christ on the exhaling breath. If it's Hail Mary, Hail on the inhaling breath, Mary on the exhaling breath. Because all you now are doing is synchronizing the words with the breath. You're not making the words match the statement. Make sense? What do you do if you're an atheist? Breathe in, breathe out. You're breathing already. Number one, count in. 2, count out. 3, count in. 4, count out. 5, count in. And just keep counting as long as you stay in meditation. And they all will take you to a very interesting place. Now, the biggest complaint I get for people that meditate, Richard, it didn't work, my mind went crazy. I said, my God, it's working perfectly. Now you know how crazy you really are. You really get to see how crazy you are. And what do you have? You have a tool now to capture and direct the mind intelligently to a higher state of consciousness. So here's that muscle again, flexing the muscle. I've been meditating for 40 years, and I can tell you, Swami Veda one day told me about 3 or 4 years ago. He said, I know you meditate 2-3 hours a day, but really, you meditate about 5 minutes. That's the nature of the mind. It takes a long time to capture and direct it intelligently. And that's all we're doing is directing the mind in an intelligent way. Now someone asked, or you ask him, how long do I get to stay in these states? When I meditate more than when I'm not in meditation. When I'm not in meditation, I'm more in a feel-good state. But in a meditation state, I'm more in a state of stillness and quiet and joy. And not joy, yay, joy. No, a joy that is so subtle that I don't want to leave. I just want to stay there. And the silence is is captivating, just like envelops me. Now, I do that 1-2 minutes a day when I meditate. Not for 1 hour. 1 hour I may be sitting there, but 5 minutes if I'm lucky. So,
What meditation does also, it gives us the experience of quieting the mind and being aware of it. Being aware of the monkey mind versus the quiet, silent mind.
yeah, got it. Okay, so that, thank you very much, by the way, that's very good. So, what we're gonna ask you, and you're gonna see a sheet of paper here in a couple of minutes, not yet, that has today's workshop on it. And it will say right at the first thing when you wake up, 1 minute meditation. That's all, 1 minute. And at night before you go to bed, it'll say again, 1 minute meditation, but first answer these questions. I know from experience, people do not walk into meditation and spend a half hour to an hour like I did when I first started. I took to it like a duck to water. And I couldn't understand why no one else got it. And over 40 years, I figured it out. Oh, we're all at different levels of evolution, obviously. So in the tradition that I've been trained in, the Himalayan yoga tradition, we teach all those techniques and we start with a 1 to 2 minute meditation only. Everyone has got 1 minute in the morning and 1 minute at night. So, I want you to think about the technique you want to use or the words you want to use. I don't need to know them. Only you need to know them. And as you gather that, as soon as you get it, just close your eyes so I know you got where you're at. And just breathe normally and naturally. And just notice, relaxing the forehead. Notice the breath, the cool, the temperature change on the inhale and the exhale. And then your choice of which technique you would like to use. Use Hong Saw, apply Hong on the inhaling breath, Saw on the exhaling breath. If it's Jesus Christ, Jesus inhaling, Christ exhaling. God inhaling, God exhaling. Or count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to count from 1 to 5. When you hear the number 5, you'll gently open your eyes. Feeling fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gently open your eyes. Feeling fine.
another common mantra, Richard, I think it's the Hindu Swami tradition, is Sat Nam.
I don't know.
Read Sat Nam?
Yeah, one thing, I don't teach anything I don't know. That's one thing I don't do. That's part of the tradition I come from. Is when I first started with Walt Baptiste in 1977, when I first met him, he said, "That's how much you know. That's all. Don't teach any more than that. You'll fail. But as you teach, that will start to expand." So as I've done these other techniques and learned them and practiced them, not to the extent that some of, like the mantra, which I do much more, that's what I then am able to teach and nothing more. So you're the beneficiary of direct experience. Okay. How did anyone feel?
Feels good.
Always feels good.
Good.
Relax.
Comfortable.
Very relaxed, but then something kind of shot me out. I mean, I know, it was a strange, I opened my eyes before you said it, something kind of like pop.
Then it's time to wake up. That's your inner wisdom. John?
Peace.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so what are we talking about here then? Is that, just to review that really quickly, is you need to sit in the same position every time, find the right time to sit, same location, turn off cell phones and everything else, wear comfortable loose clothing, and don't eat before you meditate, because your digestion will get your attention. It's working. Okay. Putting it all together. This is, been waiting for this all day. Pull out number 10. What do I do in the morning? What do I do during the day? And what do I do when I go to bed? This will sum up the entire course. So there was someone asked me about that. Dan asked me about that quote. Happy thoughts and happy feelings attract happy circumstances. And if you let the journey be your goal, rather than the destination be your goal, then you are having instant success and manifestation of your goal is certain. Do you get the magic of this? Okay. Who wants to read AM? What do you do? Someone read.
Upon awakening, I remind myself, I have only one thing to do today, and that is to feel good. Everything else flows from that.
Okay, who wants to read the next one?
Meditate for 1 minute and complete the following sentence at the end of meditation. What do I appreciate? I appreciate. Complete the sentence as many times as possible and include things you appreciate about yourself. Total time 3 minutes for AM process.
Who can't do that? Raise your hand. Who's got 3 minutes in the morning to do that? Okay, so you start your day in a very positive vibration. You set the tone for your day. Doesn't mean it's going to go like that all day. Some days it goes like that all day for me. Other days, as I mentioned, it's, I think I was getting beat up by Mike Tyson, as in the fighter's ring. Okay, look at. Now, how can I